we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about how you can create some music onto your podcast so you can be part of everything on there. So let's see. Let's go there. Let's go there. So as you're hearing in the background, let me turn this up again. You can hear it. Let's turn it down. It is background music, and I've got it recording live. As I'm recording, I want to just do it with the show. Some of you will record the event and put music after it. And one of the biggest things that people ask is, how do I put music into my show? Well, you can't put copyright music into the show. So AC/DC is out. Aerosmith is out. Any jazz standard is mostly out. Now, you can have public domain stuff. So the Star Spangled Banner, yeah. But if the Star Spangled Banner is performed by the New York Philharmonic, that's copyrighted. You can't do that. But I can sit here and go, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I should really finish this, but I won't. Anyway, the whole point is that, I can do that. But if I sing AC/DC, then there is copyright issue in that, because that's copyright music. You get the idea. So there are ways that you have not copyrighted music. There's services like, I use a service called Epidemic Sound, which is tracks that I pay a monthly fee, and I can just download music to fit the YouTube video that I'm doing or whatever. But let's say you don't want to pay that $15 a month. You want to do something basic. You want to have like this background type sound. There's an easy way to do it. And if you have an iPhone or an iPad, it's super easy. If you have an Android, you can do it too. If you have a PC and you have a Mac, you can definitely do it. PC, there's ways to do it. And that's basically bringing GarageBand back into podcasting. And you say, whoa, wait, what? Because, when GarageBand came out, it was like, GarageBand had the ability to do all the podcasting. You could still podcast in GarageBand. It's a lot different nowadays. So, but you can podcast. You can use GarageBand to podcast, and I'm using GarageBand to podcast this way. Oh, do the music. Let's bring the music back. Right here. Here's GarageBand running a simple track that I created. And yeah, I do know how to make the music, but you don't need to. I'll show you really quick. So we're gonna hit stop here. So, and we'll go My Songs, and I'll hit the new song. And you see, I have there's strings right there, bass, guitar, and I can go through here and I can create tracks. Or I can go to live loops. This is a new feature for GarageBand, and let's do a EDM thing. And I'm not going to hear what I'm going to sound, but as you can see, all their tracks are ready to go. And these are ready for podcasting, and they're not going to be copyright on them. If they do have copyrights on them, then there's something wrong, because that's not what GarageBand's about. So let's do this. Let's bring in a song. Okay. So now we're hearing this song. Let me hear it really quick. So I've got some audio. Bring this up. So, and of course you can leave that there and just let it go and talk in the background. But you can also, like for instance, I can turn off this track and I can turn off this and turn off this. Go down here, turn these off. So now we just have whatever this sound is. Let me turn this back on so I can hear it. It's just bass drum. All right, let me turn this down a little bit. So now, and of course I can change this around. So now we've got some cool music, and then we'll bring the drums back in here, the bass drum or whatever. You get the idea. So now I'm just controlling tracks by pushing a button. And I'm not even hearing what's supposed to be going on. I'm just kind of trusting what this is doing. But you get the idea. You can go in there, and you can go to your songs. And I'll go back to my background song here. This is one I easily made. You just add a track, and then you bring something in, and then you, like for instance, guitar. This perfect example. So we bring in guitar, and you have these chords which can do a single chord, or you can switch it over to a fretboard and go hit keys or something like that, and actually make songs yourself. If you have a working knowledge of music, you can do some simple tracks. As long as it's not AC/DC, as long as it's not a copyrighted song, then you can do that fairly easy. And a lot of automation can happen here. So then now you're going to hit the play button, and now I have a song that I can use for my background, so I can hear it. Let me just make sure. Okay, so it's working in the background and going from there. Now let's say you don't have an iPhone. Let's say you have an Android device. Well, there are programs. There's programs for the PC. There's programs for the let me just put in my code here really quick. There's programs for different things. And this is called GarageBand. This is apparently the closest thing to GarageBand for Android. And as you can see, same idea. You can choose your drum kit, and you can bring this in, and you can play the drums. You hit this dice button, and then it's gonna create its own sounds. And of course, this isn't the best Android tablet, so it's not gonna sound the best. But you get the idea. Is you can create your own music by using this app, and it's supposed to be copyright free. And if you do get dinged for it, then there's something seriously wrong, because they want you to make music. I've been working with a program called Band in a Box from PG Music, and that is a thing for Mac and PC where you can actually create chord progressions, and then you can use MIDI tracks or real tracks to make the music. And I talked to him and I said, well, is there any copyright on this? And he says, no. If we had any copyright behind this, people wouldn't want to buy it, because they want to make these songs either play as their backing tracks for their original music, or to make songs. And I did that this last week. I made a couple songs, and the idea is that they want you to use this for music creation. Now, like I said, if you have a working knowledge of music creation, if you know what the 1-4-5 chord progression is, you can easily put a electronic beat or a rock beat or whatever behind your music, and then record that. Let's say you have a segment that's 7.5 minutes long. You record a 7.5 minute song and then put it as a backing track. You can even change the sounds, so let's say we change gears a little bit, and it's supposed to be a little bit more lovey-dovey than hard rock. Then you can change that as well and put a different song in there, and then of course all that's copyright free. And with all this, you enhance your podcasts. You enhance your stuff, and that's pretty cool. And don't want to give it away or take it away from musicians. Being a musician myself, I know that you want to have something that will basically give you, that you can use, that you can sell. And if other people can make it, then that gets a little bit tougher. But they've also found that people that love your song, and even if they create the song, they end up buying your song anyway. That was the one thing that on Download, when we first started delving into that whole copyright of peer-to-peer networks and like Napster and stuff like that, is they found that people that downloaded the songs through these peer-to-peer networks ended up buying the actual music and supporting the artist. And I don't know if we do that nowadays, because we have things like Spotify out there, which say, here's the Apple Music, here's the music, $10 a month, you can download what you want. And then you think to yourself, hey, this is great, I don't need to buy this music now. Whereas something like Napster was, okay, I downloaded the music, I should support the artist. And it's different ways, because artists do make money off of Apple Music and Spotify. But if somebody downloads that music and then pays the $20 for the album, as opposed to millions of people downloading the music knowing that it's legal to do off of a Spotify, as long as I have the service, then do I pay for the music, and how does that work? So we won't get into, because it's not about music. Podcasters are definitely going to start seeing this in Spotify, because Spotify's going to have advertising in between your podcasts. And then you got to sit there and go, well, how much do I get from that ad through Spotify? Will I get a penny for each ad? Will I get 60-40 rev share like in YouTube? What will I get? And that's where that goes. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm going off topic here, but the whole point is that there's ways to have music behind your talk that's a little bit better and is controlled by you. And on how to record podcasts, I actually have an area where there are songs that I've created that are free to use. And I should get back into that, because that's been a while since I've done that. I did about 3 or 4 tracks. But I really want to get a whole album together where you can use it for your podcasts, for your YouTube, for whatever. And it's totally copyright free. And then I'll have music that will be not copyright free. So, and in the meantime, like I said, there's services like Epidemic Now, which allow you to download songs to put into your music, because it adds a level, especially, like I said, if you change the emotion. If we go from angry, we play heavy metal during angry, to nice and light and airy, we play a nice little acoustic guitar or something like that behind it. And your audience will enjoy it, and if they enjoy it, as long as it's not overpowering the talk, you might get more people to watch, more people to listen. So, what are your thoughts on it? Now, you don't have to have music in your podcast. A lot of people want to have music before and after their podcast. To what they call tips and tails, intros and outros. But some people want to do something a little bit more, give more to their show. So, what would you do? Let me know. You can comment down below and go from there.